who would win in the week this week is Caesar from Planet of the Apes versus Bubbles, Michael Jackson's chimp. The reason I came up with this idea because it's earlier this week was Bubbles' birthday.
Shout out to Bubbles.
42 years old. 42 years old. How fucking crazy is that? What is the lifespan of a...
Think about the shit
I think he's a chimp.
That fucking monkey has seen.
That's what everybody says. Now, I'm pretty sure he moved to the zoo before... No, I think he moved... I think I remember the story, him moving to the zoo right when Mikey died.
He was holding the other leg.
God damn, son. Come on now. Come on now. Just close your eyes. Bubble will spread your cheeks for you. Come on, guys. Now. Caesar. That's a pretty good Caesar. Versus...
Love grilled cheese.
Dude. You should be Caesar. That's a great Caesar.
I haven't seen a lot of grilled cheese content lately.
Wow. They got you.
Yeah.
They fucking got you.
Yeah.
You're stuck in a cheese world, man.
Well, they figured out that, I was living under the radar.
Now, God, Caesar versus Bubbles. Where do we even start with this? Bubbles. Bubbles.
I got to look up a picture of Bubbles. I got to see what he is. I got to see what he is.
I'm pretty sure he's a chimp. Will you also look up like what the average age of the chimps are? Because 42 is crazy. I remember when our dad was 42.
Me too.
And now Bubbles.
I have a fucking wicked fact about our dad at 42.
Oh no.
I won't share it.
Okay.
No, I just specifically remember it.
Yeah.
Because that was
That's
20
when he lost
years
his
ago.
hair. Yeah.
Okay. He was a chimpanzee.
Nice. He is a chimpanzee.
Is a chimpanzee. What is Caesar technically?
Yeah. Is he an ape?
I think he's an ape. But like what?
What's the difference? Something with their genitals, probably. There's probably something with tails. Like, that's the difference between chimps and monkeys. Because monkeys have tails. Something like that. I'm not a zoologist.
I can't spell.
I've never played Zoo Tycoon.
Chimpanzee.
Nice. So it's a chimp.
Chimpanzee versus chimpanzee.
And it's difficult because I don't know if you're aware of this, Matthew, but chimps apart, weak, but chimps together, strong.
I
Chimps
did
together,
know that.
strong.
Yeah, and this is chimp on chimp crime.
And this is chimps apart.
This is what was that? What was that guy with the scar?
The Scar guy's name?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was
Monty.
bad news.
Kuba.
So-
Kaba. It's,
Koba.
what's it?
Koba.
Yeah, Koba.
Yeah, something like that.
I think
Good
it's,
pull.
I think it's, yeah.
So here's the thing. I don't know Bubbles' level of intelligence. I know all chimps are smart,
Yeah.
but Caesar, obviously, because he has the green stuff in his eyes, he's highly intelligent.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how highly intelligent Bubbles is, and I go two ways on this. Part of me feels that for some reason Michael Jackson would have made him super intelligent. The other part of me feels that Michael Jackson may have made him extremely dumb. Because I think, I don't know this. This is probably documented, and you might know this. Based off of the slight knowledge I had of Bubbles and a few of the pictures that I just looked up, I don't think Bubbles was allowed to live like a chimpanzee. I think he was treated as a legitimate human child.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking like child care. Like, I think he had a nanny
Yeah.
that treated him like a baby at Michael's request,
Man,
not like a chimpanzee.
Yeah.
Which makes me believe that he's not intelligent or equipped to fight. Because here's the thing about Caesar. Caesar's rare because he's so intelligent that even though technically speaking he was raised in captivity, he still has the strength and the knowledge to rule all apes, wild or those raised in captivity, which is super impressive. And you see it early on when he first goes to the thing, and he convinces the big strong guy to help him escape because they're spraying him with the power washer and stuff, and he doesn't like it there. So he doesn't like that there.
Yeah.
like right away, there was a slight adjustment period, but right away his intelligence allowed him to essentially manipulate animals that had only ever lived in a
captive environment.
But captive with competition. Because that was the thing about Caesar, because he was taken as a baby, he grew up as an only child.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of the problem. You don't
Okay.
get socialized. So Caesar's just miraculous.
I think that there's an alternate reality based on everything we know where Bubbles becomes Caesar. If Bubbles gets a hit of that gas, he's Caesar.
If Bubbles was on the gas,
He's
this
Caesar.
would be a lot different. But Bubbles is not on the
well,
gas.
let me go with that then. Now Caesar, yeah, he is more intelligent, obviously because of the gas. But
he figured out the
Bubbles,
ring thing.
he figured out the ring thing. He's got it. Nobody's doubting Caesar's
Okay.
intelligence, but Bubbles is still a creature of instinct. Okay, and we know when chimps act on instinct. You've heard the stories.
But so is Caesar.
You heard the stories.
Yeah, they rip faces off.
They rip faces off. They rip off testicles.
Mm-hmm. That's what happened to
Caesar,
mine.
but that's not who Caesar is at this point. Now Caesar's able to adapt.
I disagree.
Caesar, I think it's very clear that Caesar is.
What Planet of the
I
Apes are
think
we
it's
talking?
very clear. Even in the first one, once he gets fully gassed, a fully gassed Caesar, I think it's very clear that Caesar is no longer governed by pure instinct. He thinks through everything. Bubbles is pure instinct.
Well,
and he's strong as shit.
Actually, but see, here's where I somewhat disagree with you because I think it's the opposite. I think Caesar acts on instinct. I think Bubbles acts on impulse.
That doesn't make a lick
It
of sense.
does. Let me
Matthew.
explain to you. Because Caesar has the ability to control his impulses and listen to his instincts of decisions that he should make based
That's
on.
not instinct, though. That's
Yes, it is.
problem solving.
No, that's
He's
instinct.
literally thinking.
No, that's instinct is like that internal knowledge that 'cause
Instinct
you-
is impulsive.
No,
Instinct is impulsive.
Yes, it is, but instinct implies intelligent impulse, impulsively
That's not
making
true.
the proper decision. Yes, that's why instinct and impulse are different words.
It implies a biological imperative,
yes, but that's
but not
but
intelligence.
instinct.
Does not imply intelligence.
No, yes, it does. Instinct implies intelligence.
Not intelligence
because
in the sense
you
of like problem
instinctively
solving.
I know, but you instinctively do something often. Like really,
Out of
it's
a need
back
for
to
survival.
yes, out of a need for survival. But and he still has that instinct. He understands how to survive. How do you think he rules all of these apes? If he didn't have that, he would not be the ruler. Koba would have been the ruler. But
I'm not
Koba
saying he doesn't
didn't
have.
see the ultimate goal of what they were doing by, colonizing the apes essentially, and he acted on impulse, and in turn, my boy got clapped.
I mean,
Facts. I just fact the shit out of you. Instinct and impulse are two different things. I'm not saying that Bubbles, and actually, this is what I say. I don't think Bubbles has any instinct because that can be raised out of you. That's what happens with animals in captivity. Is like they don't at a young age they don't act on instinct, so they forget those instincts.
here's the deal, man. Caesar and Bubbles are getting together. Bubbles realizes that this guy's a threat. His fear instinct kicks in, and that's when we see that wild chimp behavior. That's undeniable.
But Caesar still has that. Look at all the
Caesar
apes and the chimps
fights. He's a great
and he
fighter.
beats the fuck out of people.
Sure he does.
And he fights strategically because he has additional instincts that most apes don't have. Caesar has ape instincts and human instincts all in one. Bubbles, the only instinct Bubbles has is like, when am I getting my bottle and put my Cartier sweater on?
Caesar realizes when it's time to retreat, when that would benefit him. Bubbles has no realization of that.
That's not necessarily that's
really
not necessarily
hurt
true
Bubbles,
though,
and he'd
because-
still be fighting because
Caesar,
instinctually he's fighting for his life.
it's not necessarily true because you actually see this in the movies. Caesar understands that as part of, because he's not human and he is part ape, there is times where he understands that in order to show his true test of strength, he may have to fight to the death. And if he dies doing that, it's because that's the ape in him showing the difference between apes and humans.
I don't know, man. I think I hear you at this point, but it's not.
It's 100%
It's not
Caesar.
convincing me.
But Caesar's winning this fight. If you tell me that Caesar's not winning this fight, I will have a serious issue.
I don't know. I mean,
Caesar rules the entire
thing is,
world of apes. He rules
leadership
the planet.
leadership is different than the physical
I
ability
know,
to fight.
But that's not with apes because he has to fight
Typically
his way
not
to
with
get
apes.
there.
Typically
And
not
he
with
does
apes.
that. He does both. He brings the human element and the ape element to make the perfect ape leader. He does that. He fights Koba. He fights these apes that are trying to rebel against him because they want to kill all the humans. And Caesar's like, no, there's a way that both groups can live in peace. And then, of course, he does ultimately go against the humans because he realizes that the humans are the problem and why they can't live peacefully. It's this whole thing, right? But
Okay,
he takes both. It's Caesar.
I'm going to agree with you that Caesar wins this fight
Yep.
because he's got the fighting experience
Yep.
and he's super strong. However, I don't think that Caesar's humanization is necessarily a benefit in the fight. That's all I'm
I
saying.
100% do.
And I don't, and that's
because
the part
he's
that
not
I don't agree
overly
with.
humanized.
I hear
because
you.
he still now lives and with all apes.
I don't know, man.
He gave up his human days because he saw the flaws in humanity.
I
Andy.
think that, but I'm telling you, I think that if a group of wild apes rolled up to Caesar, they'd be like, "This fucking guy." It's like,
that happens. And then next thing you know, they're part of his pack, buddy.
well, they get aped up too. They get human aped up too.
I know, but that doesn't just happen overnight. Caesar has to prove himself. to
Caesar,
these
look,
apes.
nobody's doubting Caesar's leadership ability. We're not even doubting his fighting abilities at this point.
Nor should we be.
I'm just saying, Bubbles has a bit of an edge being a wild animal, run purely on instinct.
But I don't think
That's
so.
what I think. But that's what I
to a
think.
human against
I'm just
a
saying
human,
that's what I think.
Yes, but Caesar matches his strength, all his physical attributes, because they're the same exact type of animal. They're chimpanzees, and on top of that, Caesar has a elevated level of intelligence that allows him to critically think and stuff like that. So when he's fighting, he no longer has to fight out of impulse or just ape instinct or chimpanzee instinct. He can also use his high level of intelligence to be strategic about his fight. Caesar.
Caesar, for sure.
Yeah.
We're both locking in Caesar.
Shout out to
That's the
Bubbles,
point.
though. Vote on that
Shout out
on
to Bubbles.
Instagram on Friday. Who would win of the week? Caesar from Planet of the Apes versus Bubble. Michael Jackson, chimpanzee.
And Bubbles no snitch. We'd say that. Say that for him.
Hasn't,
Bubbles no snitch.
hasn't said a word since.
Tightest lips of any chimp. That's
Yeah.
for sure.